join us, and we will have them join us as they come in. Hello. How's
Hello.
everybody doing? How's everybody doing this afternoon, evening? Are there any morning people here? I saw an Australia banner come up, and I think it was Madhu. Judy, where are you from?
Hello. I'm from Geelong, Victoria, Australia.
Oh yeah, it would be morning there, wouldn't it?
Yes, 11 a.m.
Oh, well, almost lunchtime then.
Yeah.
Oh, terrific. Well, welcome everybody that was able to make time today, and thank you for making time on such short notice. We're very excited about the convention being in Calgary this year, and we're working really hard with our colleagues at Rotary International to provide as much information as we can to the Rotary world about attending the convention in Calgary at the end of June. Quick question, hands up, virtual hands up if you got them, if you've been to a convention before. All right. Next hand up question is hands up if you're registered for this convention. All right. So it looks like at least half of us are registered. So you're probably here to learn everything you can learn about Calgary so you can start planning your trip. Judy's given me the nod from Australia. Very good. And so anybody else who didn't put up their hand is here for us to help you get over the line to register so that you can join us in Calgary and not miss out on the excitement. So what we're going to do is we are recording this. If you run into somebody in the next few days who meant to be here but they couldn't make it, you can let them know that we'll have the recording available for them. If you want to take the recording and share it with your club or your district, feel free to do that, and we'll go from there. My name is Darcy. I'm going to kind of MC and host this discussion here this afternoon, but I've got two really important people, bigwigs in the Rotary world, who are part of our presentation today. They're both shaking their heads. But I'm going to introduce both of them, and they're both going to have an opportunity to say a few words. So I'm going to start. Sorry, let me click the right space. There we go. So the co-chairs of our host organizing committee are Mark Starrett and Craig Stokey. And unfortunately, we couldn't get both of them here today, but Craig is joining us. And Craig can't stay for the whole time. So I wanted to give him an opportunity right up front. I'll let you figure out which of the two on that photo is Craig and which one is Mark before you look at your screen. You can play a little guessing game there. But I am going to throw it over to Craig to say a few words and welcome you all here and give him a chance to tell you why you should be coming to Calgary.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Darcy. And actually, before we get going, I wanted to thank you and Linda and Brent for setting this up and giving everybody an opportunity to learn a little bit more about our city and our convention that we are so excited to host you at. Basically, what we really hope to do is and achieve is give everybody an opportunity to have an amazing experience from the time that you arrive in the city to the time that you go. And you'll hear a little bit about what we have to offer in our city, but there's amazing scenery. There's an amazing city and a very welcoming city that's looking forward to welcoming everybody. And there's going to be an amazing convention facilities as well. But anyway, how many people here have been to Calgary? By show of hands. Okay, so a few. We are in a little bit of a really unique time in that just before our convention, there is the G7 is being hosted just west of Calgary in Kananaskis. And then at the tail end of our convention is about a week after our convention ends is the world famous Calgary Stampede. So really what there is an amazing opportunity to come for the convention. If you are able to come a little bit early or stay a little bit late. We're a short 45-minute drive to the mountains. There's lots to see throughout the city outside of the convention sites. And yeah, we're just really, really looking forward to seeing you. The one thing that I will add is if you haven't booked your accommodation yet, or your flight seat, the opening night, we are on the 21st, Saturday night, we're hosting a grandstand show, which is going to be a don't miss event. So if you can try to be here for, Saturday, the 21st of June, our show starts, I think, at about 8 o'clock. But if you arrive in town and give yourself lots of notice to come to that, it would well be worth your while. But yeah, no, thank you guys very much for your time here, and we look forward to hosting you.
Hey, thanks, Craig. So one of the things that probably many of you don't know, so I'm going to ask a question. How much time do you think Craig and Mark have spent planning this event from an HOC perspective? Any guesses? I'll ask it in terms of weeks. Joy, did you put 2 fingers up for 2 weeks? Sorry, you're on mute.
I think it's 2 years.
2 years. Okay. All right. That's a good starting guess. Anybody else want to take a stab at it?
I vote 3 years.
3 years from Richard. All right. I'll take 2 more guesses.
4 years.
4 years. All right. William, you look like you have a guess. And I don't know guess. I'm going to tell you the answer is 7 years. Mark and Craig have been working on this project for the last 7 years. So I mean, they are completely invested in seeing this be successful. They're very proud Rotarians, very proud of the city of Calgary, and looking forward to hosting everybody. So I would encourage all Rotarians coming to Calgary to make sure they stop and buy Craig and Mark a beer, but they'll be bored by the first 3 hours and you won't see them for the rest of the convention. So at least give them a pat on the back and a tap on the shoulder for all of the hard work that they've put into this. They've done an amazing job, and you're going to see a great show from the HOC over the course of the convention. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with an invitation. Sorry, we're going to start with the agenda. We're going to talk about a little bit of an invitation. We're going to give you a little bit of a business case. So I know there's some folks from the US on the call. There's some folks from Australia on the call. Are there any Canadians other than Bryn and Linda and I on the call?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Kathleen's from Canada. Terrific. So we're going to give you a bit of a business case on why you must come to this event this year. We're going to talk a little bit about Calgary. You're already here. That's how we look at this from our perspective. We feel Calgary is a very Rotary-centric city, and so you're going to feel completely at home. Then we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the website, and I'll spend a few minutes on that when we get there. And then we're going to give you some resources that you can use, not only to encourage your fellow Rotarians to come and be part of this convention, but to help us spread the word. And you can be part of sharing the word about the convention using social media. So let's start with an invitation from President Stephanie.
Hello, family of Rotary. Where can you form lifelong connections, discover exciting new perspectives, and experience magic all around? At the 2025 Rotary International Convention in Calgary, Canada, a vibrant city with world-class amenities. This event will inspire and transform you, so make sure to register today. I can't wait to see you in Calgary.
So following up on that message, we've got Bryn Stiles here, who is our convention chair for the 2025 convention. And I'm going to throw it over to Bryn to say a few words and share some of his thoughts around coming to Calgary in June.
Oh, thank you very much, Darcy, and thank you to you and Linda for organizing this. And it's great to see people from around the world. Judy from Australia, it's great that you came, so thank you very much. I know many of you have been to conventions, other conventions, and you know the excitement. Conventions become addicting. Once you start to come to them, they're exciting events. They re-energize you. Sometimes our Rotary batteries get a little low when you come to a convention and you see all the people from around the world, and you get re-energized. And Calgary is going to be no different. The site of the convention is incredible. It's all on what we call site, one campus. easily walkable, from the general sessions to the brand new, what we call the BMO Center. BMO is Bank of Montreal. It's absolutely incredible, and the other venues that we're going to use on the site. So it's just incredible. I was in Calgary just last week. We had a big meeting with the HOC, the Host Organizing Committee, and all our staff and the people who are going to be providing services, and it's just exciting to see it all come together, so that you, the attendees, will get the best experience ever. For those that come, of course, the general sessions are in the mornings, and you're going to hear speakers from around the world. We have some speakers confirmed, and they're on our website. We have others who have committed. Excuse me. Yeah, I've got a cold, so I apologize for my voice. We have others who have committed but haven't signed that final document yet, so we can't announce them. But they are exciting speakers that you're going to hear, and ones that'll motivate you, challenge you on your thinking, and that's what we're supposed to do when you come to a convention. The breakout sessions, they're just fantastic. This year, people get to apply to have a breakout session, and we had over 360 applications for breakouts, which is the highest number we've ever had. And we had to narrow it down to 70 breakout sessions over the 4 or 5 days of the convention. So you can be guaranteed you're going to have the best breakout sessions. And the exciting thing is that if you go to the convention website and look under breakouts, they have a list of all the breakouts that are going to be there, but not just a list. They are describing what you're going to hear in each breakout, what you're going to experience, which is the first time that I've seen so much information about what the breakouts are going to be. So that's really exciting. The House of Friendship is always to me, is always one of the best parts of the convention. And this one is going to be no different. It's going to be full of all of different booths of projects, etc. We're going to have a Indigenous pavilion representing the Indigenous people, not only of Canada, but from around the world, which is exciting for us to have you experience that. So the convention is going to be just so exciting. When we were in Calgary last week, we talked about the C train. The C train is the transportation, and I know Darcy and his group is going to mention this in a minute, but I hopped on the C train, and it takes you where you want to go very quickly. It's clean, it's easy, so it'll get you there. So if it's your first time, it won't be your last, and if it's not your first time, this will be just another one to add to the experience of coming to the conventions. So Darcy, thank you very much for the opportunity. I may have to beg off early because of this cold I've got, but thanks for allowing me to present. I really appreciate it.
No problem, Brent. Thanks for making the time and being here to share your thoughts around the convention and your experiences having attended them in the past. So what we'll do is we'll move into kind of the next piece, talking a little bit about Calgary and the business case is what we've dubbed it. And so we figured we'd be speaking primarily to a North American market and a Central American market on these phone calls, given the time difference. So Judy, there might be a business case here for you too, I think. It depends on what you compare your dollar to. But one of the things that our American friends have going for them right now is the exchange rate between Canada and the US is quite strong. In fact, I pulled this chart out yesterday. Every American dollar is worth $1.43 when you come and spend it in Canada. So the upside for our American colleagues is that your travel costs, your accommodation costs, your meal costs, and your non-Rotary activity costs are all at a discount. You'll be getting 43 cents on the dollar for everything that you spend in Calgary, which makes your trip to Canada and to Alberta a pretty good value proposition. If you're for those on from Canada, one of the things that we've heard from some of our Canadian colleagues is everything's in US dollars. Well, not quite. The registration's in US dollars, signature events are in US dollars, but for our Canadians, on the call, your travel, your accommodation, your meals, and your non-Rotary activities are all at par. And so there's a bit of a business case here for everybody in North America coming to visit us in Calgary. And we hope that our American friends will take advantage of this. And we hope that our Canadian friends will take advantage of the fact that the convention is being held in our home country. There's an opportunity to spend your dollars at par attending the convention, because it's going to be a number of years before the convention's even back on the North American main continent, which is going to be in 2028 in Minneapolis. So costs are important, and we wanted to give you a sense of what that might look like from your own perspective. Let's talk about Calgary and the fact that we think you're already here in spirit as Rotarians. Calgary is Rotary in action. There are some amazing investments that Rotary has made in Calgary over the last 101 or 102 years or so, that there have been Rotary clubs in the community. You've got Rotary Challenger Park, which is an all-inclusive space where people of all ages and abilities can gather. There's a 138-kilometer network encircling the city that stands as the longest urban pathway in the world. That is part of Rotary's investment in the community. And what you're going to find is that the Rotarians in Calgary, from the dozen or so clubs that exist in the city, are all Rotarians at heart, like you are. And we're working really hard as District 5360, which goes about an hour and a half north of Calgary to about 2.5 hours south of Calgary and east and west to provincial borders. We're working together as a group to try to celebrate and ensure that we show you the best Western hospitality that we can show you, because that's what we're known for in Alberta. Alberta is really about where the Wild West now meets contemporary Canada. And so we're going to be showcasing a lot of our Western history. We're working very closely with our Indigenous communities to bring you a showcase of our Indigenous culture along with our cowboy culture. But of course, Calgary's also become a very modern city over the last 30 years, a very contemporary city. And part of the work that Mark and Craig have been putting together for you is to give you a good mix and blend of what Calgary is all about. The great thing about Calgary, I don't live in Calgary. I'm an hour and a half north. So I would say Calgary, you got to travel a little bit. But compared to some of the other places that the Rotary Convention is held, Calgary's a small market that's very easy to get around. And one of the things that you're going to experience as you're visiting our city is that all of your transportation has been donated on the public transit system by the city of Calgary, who wants to make your visit to the city as convenient as possible. And so all you need to show when you get on a C train or a bus in the city during the convention is your name card from the Rotary Convention and your name tag, and that will get you anywhere that you need to go in the city. So let's talk a little bit about Calgary. So Calgary is named as one of North America's top sustainable travel destinations. Our sea trains, for example, run on 100% wind-generated electricity. So Calgary and Alberta are known for oil and gas. That's what's built our wealth over the last 100 years. But our economy is transitioning, and we're changing, and we're embracing new renewable technologies and new renewable energy sources in the province. And we're really trying to evolve from being an oil and gas centric industry to an energy centric industry, and all of the energy sources that are involved. Calgary is also the third most diverse major city in Canada. We're home to more than 240 ethnic origins reflected in a rich tapestry of world-class events, celebrations, and festivals. And so, we truly are in Alberta and in Calgary in particular, a place that people from all around the world are calling home. Over the last couple of years, we've seen a significant influx of people from around the world moving into Alberta because of the energy and excitement that exists in our province, and Calgary is definitely the beneficiary of that. And Calgary is one of the friendliest cities in the world. We were recently voted the friendliest city in the world by Condé Nast Traveler in their 2023 Reader's Choice Awards. So you're going to be walking down the street and people are going to say, hello, how are you doing? They're going to ask you how your day is going. You're going to meet some of the friendliest people that you've probably met. Calgary's safe and clean. They have a very low crime rate, and it's a welcoming spot for travelers. We get a lot of questions about the weather. What's it like in June? Daytime temperatures in late June are 20 degrees. On a hot day, it's going to be 30 degrees. We have long sunny days, so you're going to be here during the longest day of the year, which means the sunset's going to be at about 10 o'clock in the evening on June the 21st. And so that, I believe, is June the 21st, the day of the grandstand show. Yeah, so we'll be starting the grandstand show a little bit later. It gives people an opportunity to get to the city because part of the grandstand show is dependent on night when the fireworks come out and the drones come out, and the show that you're going to see will blow your mind. So, you know, one of the things that Craig and Mark have worked really hard on over the last number of years is partnering with organizations like the Calgary Stampede, who does run the greatest outdoor show on earth. And so, you know, as I mentioned earlier, my family lives 90 minutes from Calgary. Every year we buy a ticket for our family to drive to Calgary for the day so we can go to the rodeo and the chuck wagon races, and then we can go to the grandstand show because it's one of those events that you don't want to miss. You really are going to be blown away. And then, of course, I talked earlier about exchange rates are in your favor. The other great thing about Alberta is we don't have a sales tax. We're the only jurisdiction in Canada that doesn't have a provincial sales tax. So you combine no sales tax with a great exchange rate, and your dollars will go very far in coming to visit the city. Now, Calgary really is your base camp for adventure in Western Canada and in Alberta. And so it is a travel hub in Western Canada, with both Canadian Airlines having significant infrastructure based out of Calgary, so very easy to get to. But you can branch off from the city and go west to the Rockies. You can go north into the Parkland. East, you go into the Hoodoos, and you go down south into a number of World Heritage sites, including Waterton National Park, which has Waterton Rotary Peace Park in it. And that's about a 3-hour drive from Calgary. So while we are hoping that you'll come to the convention, and we're hoping that we're not hoping, we know you're going to have a great time at the convention, there is plenty to do. You could spend weeks based out of Calgary seeing everything that there is to offer in central and southern Alberta. So what we're going to do is, instead of me telling you about all of that and having you to remember all of that, what we've done over the last couple of weeks is we've refreshed our website. And we've put everything you need to know about the Calgary Convention on our website. And what I'd like to do this evening is just kind of give you a quick tour of the website so you can see what's there. And if there's anything that jumps to mind that you want to know an answer to, I'll let you know if it's on the website or whether we need to figure out how we're going to get it there. But the way that we've organized the site from left to right is actually to make it easy for people to plan their adventure in Alberta. So, you know, in a moment, I'll take you to the homepage. The You're Invited section, that's really about how do you get registered for the convention. And that section actually links to Rotary International's homepage, and it links to Rotary International's registration pages. So you can come to RotaryCalgary2025.org and find everything out you need to know about the convention, whether it's work being facilitated by Rotary International or work that we're facilitating at the ROC. I'm Looking for Fun is going to talk about the 4 events that we have had planned for the last year for each night of the convention. And there's an additional event that we're going to be adding very shortly, which is another hallmark of Calgary Stampede. Alberta Bound is going to talk a little bit about the city itself. We have a section in there called Calgary 101. So it'll give you all the information you need to know about Calgary. But we have been working for the last number of months with a travel partner in the city called Anderson Travel, booking some amazing tours, pre and post tours. And in addition to pre and post tours, Rotary clubs have put together some vocational tours. They've put together some fellowship tours. So there are many opportunities for you to see Alberta pre or post the convention in a way that is that really fits with what your interests are. So we'll go there for a moment. The necessities talks about hotel rooms. It talks about all of the things that air travel, all the things you need to know about getting to Calgary and staying in Calgary. We need volunteers. I Want to Serve is all about how do we ask Rotarians to give us 4 hours of their time while they're in Calgary. And there are going to be hundreds and probably a few thousand volunteer opportunities that we're going to be asking Rotarians to take advantage of. And then Magic All Around is your way to share the excitement about all of this and encourage your fellow Rotarians to be part of what's going to be happening in the city at the end of June. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this link, and hopefully it's going to take us to the web page. Well, it took me to the web page. Do you see the web page there now, Linda? You do? Terrific. Okay. So after tomorrow, this blue box will be gone, and you'll be greeted by our web page, which is the Countdown to Calgary. So we're under 90 days. We're at 86 days and 23 hours from the start of the 2025 convention. And when you get to this page, you'll be greeted by this information. One of the things that we're going to ask you to do when you come to the next time you come to the page is register for our newsletter. And so we're going to start producing a newsletter for registrants of the convention who are looking for up-to-date information and new information on the convention as it becomes available. Now, we'll be doing a really good job keeping the website up to date. The newsletter will be there to augment that work. The other piece that you'll see in about 2 or 3 days, right in this section, is there will be links to LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. We're just in the final stages of getting our social media channels up and running. So you can come here and subscribe to the newsletter, and you can follow us on each of those 3 channels and get up-to-date information on what's going on. Then little information about Calgary itself, but one of the things that you might be interested in at the bottom of the page is the frequently asked questions that we're getting. And so this is going to be a very dynamic section of the website. We'll be updating our frequently asked questions as those questions come in. If you have a question that you can't find an answer to, you send it to info@rotarycalgary2025.org. Linda is going to get that question, and then it would be a shock if she doesn't have an answer. But if she doesn't, she'll reach out to the rest of us and get one, and that information will be posted on the FAQs for you. So what we're really working hard at is trying to have one place Rotarians can go to get everything they need to know about Calgary 2025. So I mentioned earlier that the You're Invited section is all about how do you get registered. I'm not going to tour you through that. Many of you have already registered for the convention, so you know what these web pages look like, but you can point this out to your colleagues and your friends. You're Invited is about how you get registered to come. I'm Looking for Fun talks about the 4 signature events that we have planned over the course of the 5 days of the convention, starting on Saturday night. Saturday night's going to be the unofficial grand opening of the 2025 convention with the grandstand show, and we're calling it our Amazing Grandstand Showcase. And then Sunday evening, there's going to be 2 shows available showing Alberta's diversity. One of them is going to be about the history of Canadian music. And then the second event is going to be a production put together between the Indigenous community and the Calgary, I want to say, Philharmonic Orchestra. Did I get that right? I probably didn't. Craig or Linda?
It's the Calgary Civic Orchestra.
Okay, thank you. On June 23rd, Monday night, is your opportunity to get together with Rotarians from around the world. In 1996, the last time that Calgary hosted the Rotary Convention, they started a new tradition that has carried on since 1996, and that's called Host Hospitality Night. And so back in 1996, what the Rotarians of Calgary did is they invited all of you from around the world into their homes and served them dinner, and spent some time building friendships that have lasted lifetimes for many. And so, and host hospitality has evolved over the last 28 years, and it's taken on different iterations. What we're trying to do this year is kind of get it back to those original roots. So we've asked Rotarians inside of the city of Calgary to open up their homes to Rotarians to come for dinner. And so many Rotarians have done that. Rotary clubs like mine from outside of the city are organizing different types of Rotary Club hosted events around the city and just outside of the city. So the great thing for all of you is for $50, you get to cover the cost of moving everybody and getting transportation taken care of. You get to go dine with fellow Rotarians in Calgary and from across District 5360. So if you haven't registered for host hospitality and you would like to hang out with some Central Alberta and Southern Alberta Rotarians, you want to go there very quickly and register. Registrations for that are actually going to close, I think, in mid-April. And I can tell you the uptake for this has been amazing. And then on June 24th, it's going to be kind of a Western showcase, become a cowboy or become a cowgirl. And we're going to have a show at the Nutrient Center on the campus of the event for you to participate in that. Now, of course, you can't do any of these events without getting a cowboy hat. So one of the things you're going to want to do when you go buy your signature event tickets is make sure you go get a cowboy hat. And this is going to be very important because one of the things that we're working on for the Amazing Grandstand show on June 21st is doing what we think might be Calgary's largest ever white hat ceremony. And if you want to learn more about what a white hat ceremony is, just go to Get a Cowboy Hat, and there's a little video in there that will talk about what getting a cowboy hat is all about and what the white hat ceremony is. And so in his remarks, Craig talked about the Grandstand Showcase. And what I want to do is I just want to give you a sense of the energy that you're going to experience when you come to the Grandstand Spectacular.
As the summer sun begins its slow descent in the western sky, the lights begin to shine on the western stage. This is one unforgettable night filled with excitement, entertainment, and showmanship. A marching band, Indian hoop dancing, relay races, and world-class country music. The Grandstand Evening Spectacular, Saturday, June 21st, at the Rotary International Convention, Calgary 2025.
So just to give you a sense of how important Calgary views this convention, and Rotary, Craig can back me up, I think, on this, is I've never known the Calgary Stampede to put on a separate grandstand show for any other event other than the Calgary Stampede. Craig, is that accurate?
Yeah, pretty much. You hit it on the head when you said that it's important to the city. If you go to a lot of cities throughout the world, everybody's attended conventions here and there. You get about a block away from the convention center and you have no idea that the convention's even in town, and nor do the people that live in the city. This is going to be a big deal to us, you know, and the entire city, anywhere that I go, I talk to, you know, people in the hospitality business. I talk to business owners. I talk to anybody I talk to. They are excited about this. They're, you know, just rolling out the carpet, and they just want to make sure that everybody has an amazing time from the time they get off the plane till the time they get back on. So even when you land at the airport, there's going to be music. There's going to be lots of stuff going on. So yeah, it is a big deal.
Yeah, thanks for that, Craig. The great thing about Calgary during Stampede, which you're going to see during this convention, is Calgary likes to have fun. Calgary likes to have a good time, and they like to involve everybody in the community in that, and you're going to be part of it. So when you get a moment, go to the website, go to I'm Looking for Fun, and scroll through each of those days' events. But we really encourage you to make sure that you book your flights so that you get into town on Saturday afternoon by about 3 or 4 o'clock. You can get settled, make your way down to the Stampede grounds, and be part of what is going to be an amazing grandstand show. And get your cowboy hat. And the great thing about the cowboy hat is when you buy it here, when you go to register, you will just pick it up with your registration work. It'll be all done for you in one place. Let's talk a little bit about Alberta and Alberta Bound. So Calgary 101 shows some of those graphics that I showed you before. You'll find an interactive map of the convention campus at Calgary 101. You'll get a sense of what the weather is like under Calgary 101. Kind of all the basic things that you probably want to know about coming to this great city can be found in Calgary 101. One of the great partnerships that Mark and Craig have put together as part of this convention is with Tourism Calgary. They have just done an amazing job getting the city excited about having people from around the world come and visit. And so spend some time under Explore Calgary 101 to find the non-Rotary convention activities that you might be interested in being a part of. And one of the things that we know that Tourism Calgary is going to be bringing to the convention is they're going to have some really neat programs to encourage you to go around and shop with local businesses. We've got businesses that are really getting on board with this convention that want to be part of the action. So there's going to be some things that are rolled out over the next couple of months that you're definitely going to want to be a part of. And you're going to get that information when you sign up for the newsletter and if you follow us on our social media channels. The pre and post tours, I'm going to spend a minute in there. This is something else you might want to take a look at if you haven't booked your flights and accommodation yet, or you have the opportunity to change it. And so when you come into the pre and post tours under Alberta Bound and go to the bottom, you can, of course, watch a video by Paul Brandt. I always think of this video as being Alberta's unofficial provincial anthem. It's a great story about what it's like to live in Alberta. But if you click over here and go view and book tours, what you'll find is it will take you to an outside website with our partner Anderson Vacations. And you can see here that they've put together, can you see this one, by the way? Or did it change? Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
You can see that they have put together Indigenous tours. We've got Rotary clubs that have come together and put together vocational tours. We have a company in Calgary that's put together some what they're calling white hat excursions. So a white hat excursion is something you need to do for an afternoon or a day if you're not a Rotarian attending the conference, but you're there with somebody who is. So if you're traveling with your spouse and they're not coming to the convention, you can go to White Hat Excursions and find some day trips that you can do in and around the city. And then, of course, there's multi-day tours, 2-day tours, 1-day tours. You can even build a custom trip. So I'll scroll through this really quickly just to give you a sense of all of the types of tours that have been put together for you to take a look at, or for the people that you're traveling with to take a look at while you're here. And so encourage you to spend a little bit of time taking a look at the pre and post tours. There's some amazing sites in southern and central Alberta to visit. And hopefully you'll block some time in your calendar to take advantage of that before you come to the convention or after the convention is over. All right, let's go to the necessities. So the necessities are, how do I get there? And where do I put my head down? So if you are in Canada, or you're flying with Air Canada or WestJet Airlines, both of those are the two airlines that operate in our country. Both of them have discounts available. So if you'd like to try to fly with WestJet or Air Canada, regardless of where you're coming from, there are details on how you can secure discounts for traveling to Calgary. And then one of the other things you'll find on this page is we've got a map of all of the locations that offer direct flights into Calgary. And so
Wow.
you can come here and check out this site. It will give you a good sense of what that looks like. You know, the United States, for example, there's probably about 30 different cities that have direct flights directly into Calgary. Of course, Canada's got tons of direct flights, but even internationally, every continent other than Africa and South America have direct flights into the city of Calgary. So if you can't get a direct flight, you're probably only 2 flights away from being into Calgary. And so very easy city to get to. It would be the 3rd largest travel hub in Canada behind Toronto, sorry, 4th, but behind Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver. But if you're coming, is Judy still here? Where is Judy at? Did she drop off? Oh, there she is. Judy, you're probably going to fly into Vancouver and then catch a flight over to Calgary, or some other option as you're shaking your head. And so it's very easy to get to the city. And so you can take a look at all of that. And if you're looking for more information on flights, you can just go to YYC, which is Calgary's airport code. If you type that into Google search, it'll take you to their website. They've got terrific information on flights and their facilities. The other thing is accommodation. So where do I put my head down? there are actually 6 different options available for Rotarians to stay. So there's always the official Rotary housing block. And the official Rotary housing block is getting pretty full. The great thing about the official block is things like Wi-Fi and breakfast are included in the price. And there will be transportation from each hotel in the official housing block to the convention campus. So that's the terrific thing about being part of the Rotary housing block. Now, there's still accommodation beyond the block. And so if you go to the second link on here, this will take you to a search engine that will allow you to search all of the hotel properties in Calgary and surrounding area. So the surrounding area of Calgary is High River, Okotoks, Cochrane, Strathmore, Airdrie. And so you'll most definitely be able to find a hotel room if you're looking for one. And we've been poking around there every couple of days. There still is some reasonably priced hotel rooms a little farther out from the core. But as I said earlier, Calgary's not a hard city to travel within. Now, the other thing that we've done for those who really want to travel on a budget is we worked with 2 of our post-secondary institutions, Mount Royal University, which is probably a 15-minute drive away from Stampede Park, maybe a 20-minute drive in rush hour, and the Southern Institute of Technology, which we call SAIT, which operates probably 15 or 20 minutes by car. Both of them have dormitory style housing. So there are individual units, there's group units that you can share. If you go to Campus Life and click on Learn More, you'll have the option of going in and taking a look at which each of those facilities have to them. The great thing about SAIT is that SAIT is on the LRT line. So the train comes right to their facility, you hop on and you get off the train right at the convention campus. But there are 2 great facilities. They've got amazing grounds, terrific views, very welcoming. And, if you're traveling with a group, this might be a great option for you to stay together and do some socializing after you go home from the convention. Of course, Airbnb and VRBO both operate in the city of Calgary as well in the surrounding area. And then for the campers in the crowd, there are some camping options. The camping options are pretty full at this stage, and I believe that the camping group is looking for a few more options, and we're doing that as well. But that option is available for anybody that was thinking about camping. So there's lots of options for you to check out in terms of accommodation. We had been hearing some concerns about accommodation a while back, but we believe that we can very easily host 15 to 20 to even 25,000 people in Calgary quite comfortably once everybody gets registered.
One thing to add, Darcy, regarding the Rotary block, that is ever changing. So if you go on there and you don't see some accommodation that you're looking for, like just go lock down something. And if you're not in your ideal spot, keep checking back, because there's people that, book rooms for friends and then they're not going, so they cancel or their plans change or whatever. So from day to day, every day it's different.
Cool. Thanks for that, Craig. That's good information to have. All right, I'll keep moving. I want to serve. So we are looking for Rotarians to volunteer 4 hours of their time to help us with the convention. And when you go to the volunteering section on here, you're going to find that there are going to be a host of opportunities for Rotarians to volunteer. Now, of course, in order to volunteer on the convention campus, you have to be registered for the convention. Now, I think I'm speaking to a whole bunch of people who are going to be registered for the convention. So there is going to be plenty of opportunity for you to volunteer on the campus. However, if you wanted to volunteer in the community, there's going to be great opportunity for you to do that. We're going to have teams at the airport welcoming Rotarians to Calgary. So if you want to be part of the welcome team, that's the group you want to volunteer for. We're going to have Rotarians on the public transit and sea train stations, helping guide people around the city, letting them know where they need to go. You can be part of that excitement. And then, of course, we're also going to have volunteers at the hotels and the other venues that are supporting the convention. So the great thing is that Calgary is a very volunteer-centric community. We have Rotarians in Calgary and just regular Calgarians who want to be part of the fun volunteering, but we want to make sure that people from around the world that want to get a real Calgary experience have the chance to volunteer as well. So we encourage you to join us as a volunteer. The choices for volunteer opportunities, I think, are going to start to happen in April. Does that sound about right, Linda? Yes. So what we need you to do right now is register. And once you register, our team, who's coordinating all of the volunteers, will be reaching out to everybody to go, here's what the assignments look like. The great thing is you'll get volunteer garb. So you'll get a cowboy hat. You'll get a cowboy hat with a blue band on it. You'll get a blue vest. And we'll get you all decked out so that you look and feel like a Calgarian while you're supporting the convention. And then finally, the last thing I wanted to draw your attention to is Magic All Around. There's two things in here for Magic All Around. I know we're getting close to that March 31st deadline when the price goes up again, and we really want people to take advantage of that. But even if you can't, if you think of other Rotarians who you really think need to come to this convention, all you do is go to Invite a Rotarian to Calgary, go put in your name, put in their name and their email address, and click refer. And what we will do is we will send them an email encouraging them to come and check out this website and see everything that you've had a chance to see, and reconsider why they're not coming to Calgary if that's a decision they've already made. And then the other piece that I draw your attention to is our promotional material section. And so when you go in here called Spread the Word, you'll find resources like this slide deck, which is already there for you. So you can go in and grab that, you can share it, you can pass it around, do what you need to do with it. There'll be a PDF version of it so that it's smaller in size. There'll be a PowerPoint version of it. The videos that you see on the website, all included in there. So if you need to download a video because you want to show your friends, go in there and find it, and you can share it with them. The social media messaging part is the part we were really excited about. We've got this off the ground here in the last week or so. And one of the things that we're asking Rotarians to do as part of our social media strategy is help us spread the word. We all have most of us, if not all of us, have social media accounts. And so what we've done actually for the next 2 weeks is we've built a calendar of social media posts for Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. We've built the text, we've given you graphics. So you can go in and click on this social media schedule. It will give you all the details. And then you can come back to this link with the social media assets and find all the graphics you need. So it's just a matter of copying and pasting it into your social media channels and telling your friends, Rotarian friends and non-Rotarian friends alike, that Calgary is going to be great. Encourage people to come and share the word about Rotary. We have a bit of a message here that we're trying to pass along as well, as we're trying to use the convention to help Rotarians find fellow Rotarians. Because as we know in North America particularly, membership isn't going in the direction we'd like it to go. So we wanted to find a way that we could leverage this convention to help Rotarians let the world know they're Rotarians. And what we found in our experience is when I tell my friends I'm a Rotarian, some of them are going, God, I've known you for years. I didn't know that. Tell me what a Rotarian does. What's being a Rotarian all about? And we've had those types of stories from different people that have been helping us with this campaign. So we're trying to help spread the word of Rotary using the convention. So feel free to take advantage of that. We'll constantly be updating that with new messaging, etc. And we're even talking about how we might even be able to make things easier for you. And then, of course, if you need any Rotary convention promo material, you can click on this link, and this will just take you to the Rotary International website. They've got a web page full of promotional material that they're using for the convention as well. The logos for the convention, all of that is all in one place for you. So that's what I wanted to touch on this evening for the website. It's we've tried to lay it out so it's very easy for people to navigate and kind of progresses you from left to right in terms of how you're going to plan your trip to Calgary. So I'm going to ask for questions at the end. I've got 1 or 2 more slides to go through, and then we'll be good. So I'm going to close this and see what happens. Are you back to Rotary Calgary 2025? Perfect. So prices go up on March 31st. So for those of you that haven't registered, this is your last chance to get in with a $70 discount US. So for us Canadians, that's probably like $100. And so would encourage all of you, if you haven't registered, to get on and register for the convention. It's $6.25 to register before March the 31st. As I mentioned earlier, you can stay engaged and really hope that you will go to the website and register. I've done a mock-up with our social channels. They're not there yet, but they'll be there soon. But sign up for the newsletter. We want to make sure that you have all the current information when you need it as you're planning your trip. And we want to make it easy for you to plan your experience in Calgary ahead of time so that you're not doing it while you're here only. I talked about being engaged. So when you click on spread the word, there's an example of all of the information that you will find on the spread the word section. And we just like you to join us in Calgary and experience magic all around from June 21st to June 25th. So with that, I'm going to pause and give anybody on the call an opportunity to ask any questions that they have. I see the chat window's been lighting up, and I see Linda's been doing a great job responding to that, but we can talk about anything that's in the chat or any questions you might want to ask. No questions? We answered everything? Wow.
I'll ask a question.
All right, William.
In 1996, the convention included a parade on this at Stampede Park. Will there be a parade around the grounds this year?
Are you volunteering to lead a parade around the grounds this year?
There are going to be a lot of experiential events that are not common to Rotary conventions. Stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of neat things.
Yeah, I'm just going to back up Craig in that statement. There's a lot of stuff already in action that we're talking about or that just aren't ready to announce yet. And that's one of the reasons we want to get you following us on social and subscribing to the newsletter so that you're some of the first people to know what's going on. Sherry. Sherry Ford.
He's on mute.
We'll come back to Sherry Ford. Angela.
Yes, thank you. I have a unique situation in that my mother is a Rotarian. How I have been looking at like pre and post tours that we're doing, and I'm driving up because I need to have the van for her. But some of these activities you're talking about, how soon will we know about them? Because I hate to sign up for something and then there's something else that would be more preferable. And then the other thing would be the event on the Saturday night, the similar to the Stampede, your showcase.
Yep.
Is there a way that I'm going to be able to ensure she would be in a wheelchair accommodating seat? She's only 4'6" too, so
yeah,
really sure.
Craig or Linda, do you want to jump on that one? Yeah, all of the venues at all of our facilities are accessible. The convention center itself is less than a year old, and it was built to the absolute highest standards. All of the events in Alberta, they have pretty tight accessibility rules, and so that shouldn't be a problem. As far as the other events that we're talking, the experiential events, they're not going to be competing against our grandstand show and our other events. These are just pop-up things that
Okay.
You walk outside the convention center on your way literally across the street to the opening ceremonies, and there's going to be stuff happening that it's just going to be some unique experiences.
And with the showcase, for her to be able to see, will there be areas that are specifically?
Yes.
Okay. And is there anything I need to do to make sure that she's able to do that?
No. What we can do is, just when you get there, we're going to make sure that all of the volunteers are know where all of the accessible seating is, and we'll make sure that we're in a position to accommodate everybody. So just when you get there, we'll make sure that they get taken care of.
Perfect. And then if I'm also in charge of putting together a potential dinner for our district, I have called the tourism center. I've got some ideas, but is there someone in your
Yes.
team that would be really good at identifying options?
Yes. So one of the things you can do is just send an email to info@RotaryCalgary2025.org, and we'll make sure that it gets forwarded to the appropriate team that's looking after that.
Thank you.
Sorry. Thanks, Angela. Great questions. Appreciate it. Thanks, Craig, for taking them. Sherry Ford, we're going to try you again.
I'm ready now.
Okay, we can hear you.
Okay. I have never been to a Rotary convention, but I love Calgary, so this seems like the one to come to. I have 2 small kids wondering, we're also going to try to make it a family vacation, and I'm wondering if the recommendation with kids is that they come participate in some stuff or do family excursions, do their own thing. Should I be trying to incorporate them or not?
How old are your kids?
They are young, 4 and 8.
Okay. So as far as the evening shows and events, they are all family orientated with the exception of the New Blood event, which is on Tuesday night at the grandstand, or sorry, at the Jubilee Auditorium. That's something that, I mean, it's not children inappropriate, but it's just, you know, they wouldn't have as much fun there as the other ones. They're going to be different events that are going on, like we're going to be having a few date excursions and those sorts of things that are available for partners and families. But yeah, I mean, bring them up and get them involved.
But one of the things, Sherry, you might want to do on the website is if you go under Alberta Bound and the section right after Calgary 101, which is Explore Calgary, Tourism Calgary has an amazing site there that will talk about all of the different things that you can do in and around the city, and you will find plenty to do for your kids.
Great, thank you. And then I'm also a youth exchange officer. And at one point when I was looking at the website a while ago, I thought I saw maybe some like pre-conference things for youth exchange. But then when I went back on this week, I wasn't finding that. Is there something specific for youth exchange officers that I should be zeroing in on?
There is. I don't have the details on it, but
I can help out, Craig.
Oh, go ahead.
It's a youth exchange pre-convention, and it runs Friday and Saturday. And the Friday night is the banquet. So youth exchange officers from around the world join together, and they have sessions on how to handle various topics on youth exchange. I've been to a number of them. They're very good.
And that's not exclusive for like the district country officers. That's for club youth exchange officers.
Yeah. Well, it's usually district, but we're taking our whole group.
Cool.
Yeah. It's and it's on the convention site. The convention.rotary.org site is where you sign up.
Okay. Okay. I will keep digging for it. Thank you.
Thanks, Sherry. All right, Judy.
Thank you. Firstly, thank you for a great presentation and lots of information. I'm staying in one of the hotels in the Central Park that you talked about, and you spoke about transport from the hotels to the venue. When will that transportation begin? Will it begin on the Saturday to get us to the that grandstand spectacular, for example?
Ooh, I'm going to call on Craig or Linda to comment on when the transport starts. One thing I'll say before I throw it to them is that if you're staying in the Rotary block particularly, most hotels will be walkable to the convention campus. But
the downtown ones. Which hotel are you staying at?
The Radisson Apartments.
Just trying to think. where that is. I'm gonna look it up because it might be right on the train line. Actually, I'm just gonna.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
Hmm. So will there be information come out about that, the transport available around the
So
city
the
and
one
to
thing
the
about
venue?
this, the one thing about this is Rotary transport is shutting off at I think 7 o'clock or 7:30 in the evening. So as far as the evening events, we're still in discussions on how what that's gonna look like. Just let me see here where you are.
And is the transport free or do we have to pay something for it?
It's free. Yeah. So, are you at the downtown one? Down Radisson Hotel and Conference
Yes,
Center?
downtown, I think it's called.
Sorry, I'm just looking on a little tiny screen here.
Craig, we'll go to the next question
Yeah,
and
that's
come
what I was
back.
just going to suggest. Yeah.
Okay. So hang on, Judy. We haven't forgot about you. Joy.
No worries. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm just curious about going to church on Sunday morning and if there will be, if there are church folks involved in the convention and stuff. So,
Which church do you want to go to?
well, I want to go to the best church in Calgary. I'm open. I'm a Methodist, but Methodists will go anywhere. So,
Well, I don't think you'll find a problem going to church on Sunday when you're in Calgary. So the suggestion that I'd offer to you is Google churches in Calgary and
okay.
figure out which one you want to go to and find a few friends and you can all go together.
Thank you.
There are a few really beautiful churches downtown, like old ones. And I'm not sure what denomination, but they're just some really, really nice buildings downtown.
Great. Sounds good. Thanks.
Thanks, Joy. All right, Craig, how are we doing on the hotels?
Apparently, I'm still looking. It's just
okay.
Greg,
All right.
All screen.
Can I ask, is it true that as soon as you have your registration badge, then that you can use the transit system?
Yes.
Because registration opens Thursday.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, good.
yeah, you'll be able to use it then.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Hi, it's Marilyn Bedell. Just was going to mention on the hotel. I've had people have luck. They just call the hotel and say, how do I get to the Stampede grounds? And they'll know what the best way is for you to get there and what if it's walkable or whether you need to take transit. But that's a good way to find out how close you are to everything is just ask the hotel staff. And most hotels have a contact us page and you can send them an email and they've gotten back to me when I've asked.
Well, thanks for that, Marilyn. And thanks for joining us tonight. Good to see you.
You're welcome.
Angela, I'm going to come back to you.
Sorry, one more question. The host hospitality night, I've done that in other places, but I've not had my mother. So how could I sign up knowing that, again, I can drive either my van or if it was in a location downtown or something, we're staying very close to the BMO Center. So how would I sign up though so that you guys know need to accommodate a wheelchair?
Linda, does the sign up page allow people to enter special information on it?
Yes, it asks for both food sensitivities or allergies and whether you need accessibility. And then they'll match you appropriately.
Okay, so should be able to do it, not be a nightmare for you?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, if you look at Rotary's demographic, Rotary's demographic is not, there's a lot of people with accessibility issues. So that's something that we're really taking care of.
Thank you.
All right. How are you doing, Craig, there with Judy's hotel question?
I can't find anything downtown. So,
well, the actual hotel is called Country Inn and Suites by Radisson.
okay.
Okay.
Calgary Northeast.
Okay.
Okay.
That hotel isn't downtown. It's actually up in the Northeast.
That's right. It's down by it's probably close to the airport.
Yeah, it's off Barlow and McKnight.
So, Judy, you should be able to, within relative proximity, be able to get on the C train there and take the C train down to the convention campus.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And of course, as Linda mentioned, your Rotary pass works on the C train starting when you get your Rotary pass.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
So we'll be arriving on the Thursday. So
okay,
if we can register from Thursday, that's great.
Well, you know what you could do? Take a blanket and an umbrella and go camp out at the grandstand to make sure you have the best seat in the house for that grandstand spectacular. Judy, we're looking forward to seeing you from Australia.
Can't wait. We're looking forward to it.
All right.
Got our hats. We're ready to go.
Terrific. All right. We're at 7:11. Sorry, we're 11 past the hour. So if there's no other questions, I'm probably going to wrap it up. If you have other questions, info@rotarycalgary2025.org. You can send them there and that will go directly to Linda. Or just go snoop around our website. And if you think there's something that should be on the website that you can't find there, you tell us what that is. And we will do our best to get that up on the site as quickly as possible. So with that
question here about when I get off the plane, do I register and get my pass first? The registration is going to be down at Stampede Park. So yeah, unfortunately you have to get there to get your registration pass.
Thanks for catching that, Craig. All right. Before we wrap it up, what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to wrap it up and play a little video for you. You can tune in and watch on your way out, or if you have to take off, you can do that. Want to thank you all for making the time this evening to be here, or in Judy's case, this morning or tomorrow morning to be here. Great to see you all. Looking forward to seeing you all in Calgary at the end of June. If you know Rotarians who haven't signed up for this convention, put a bug in their ear and see what you can do to get them to register and join us. It's going to be a great time. You won't regret coming to the city and coming to Alberta. We're going to have a lot of fun. So, Craig, did you want to offer anything else, or Linda, before I wrap it up?
No, just thank you guys for your time, and we look forward to hosting you, and it's going to be an amazing time.
All right. We'll close out with a little video. We'll see you all in Calgary.